So my friend, if you want to become a millionaire, this is all you need to know. Forget everything else. Forget about all the marketers telling you you need to do this one specific business, this special type of marketing. You have to learn this specific sales thing. Forget all of that, because when I stumbled on this, I was totally broke. I was unable to pay my rent, renting a room out of somebody's house. And in my 20s, I became a millionaire just following this. So the question that really put it all together for me was like, have you ever noticed that you're not moving forward financially? Or like you get a raise, you land a better paying job, but then somehow you go backwards again. You're right back to where you started. Like you reach a higher income, you reach your goal, you finally feel like things are changing, and then before long, you're stuck in the exact same place again. Like maybe the money disappears, the bills pile up again, you hit a setback. It's like you're moving forward and then you slide back, and then you're in this endless financial loop of forward and back. Now, this isn't bad luck. I thought it was. There's actually a deep reason behind it. There's an invisible financial governor or financial thermostat that's controlling your income. And this thermostat is part of your childhood programming. And until you reset it, you're going to keep staying at the same financial temperature that you've been used to for a very long time. So I want to dive into how this happens, the easiest way to change this, and skyrocket your income quickly. Now, I first stumbled on this from T. Harv Eker's huge best-selling book, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And I'm going to show you how to do it. It's easier than you think. Now, the first step is, where's your financial thermostat set? So if you think of like your home thermostat, you set it at 72 degrees and it keeps the room at the exact temperature, and then it adjusts if it gets too hot, too cold. So like imagine you leave a window open and it's really chilly and a whole bunch of cold air is pouring through the windows. You forget to close it and it's cooling the room down or the house down. Your thermostat automatically kicks into gear, right? It brings the temperature back to 72 where you set it. You close the window, it'll stabilize things. Our financial lives work the same way. So imagine your financial thermostat. Just imagine it's set for $30,000 a year. That's pretty much what you make. And it's maybe what you're used to. Maybe it's what your parents earned. Or maybe it's what you think you deserve. You might work really hard, right? Take on extra projects, a new job. Maybe you even bump up to $50,000 one year. But then the window's open, the thermostat kicks on, and you go back to the same spot. Maybe you splurge, maybe you make a risky investment, you lose all the money, maybe you get fired from the job, maybe you lose a big client out of nowhere. Maybe you start feeling unmotivated. Maybe you hit some other unexpected roadblock. But before long, you are back at $30,000. So just like that thermostat brings the room back to a set temperature, your financial thermostat keeps you in a comfortable income range. When it gets too low or too high, it brings you back, and we aren't even aware that it's happening. Now, this is why it's so important to reprogram your subconscious mind. I have a free financial success hypnosis that I started listening to, and my income went up like skyrocketed. My first year of business, I made $8,500. Within 24 months, I had made $1 million. I would listen to this thing all the time. It's free. About 1 million people from all over the world have used it. Just listen to it for a couple minutes in the morning or when you're falling asleep. You don't even have to consciously do anything. Just let it play while you're doing something. It's free. It's jakeshypnosis.com, or you can click right there, or it is linked in the description of the video, or it's pinned as the top comment. You can bookmark it right now, but keep paying attention, because I swear to you, once I learned this, my income changed like night and day, and it will happen quickly for you too. So that brings us to number 2, which is like, why? Right? Like, why do I can't make more money? And psychologists tell us that maybe it's because we feel safe or comfortable at our usual financial level. And in psychology, they have this concept, it's called unconscious reward. They say that like basically the idea is that our minds create a hidden benefit out of staying where we are because it's familiar or safe, or we get a reward. And we don't even know that it's happening. So maybe we're like projecting ourselves and keeping ourselves safe from failure or perceived failure. Or like, let's say you watch your parents struggle and they lost all their money. Maybe they even got divorced over money. And then maybe you saw like somebody else that got wealthy and it like messed up their life. So your subconscious might say, I don't want these things to happen to me. So as you set a conscious goal to make more money, your mind pulls you back and you don't even realize that it's happening. Or maybe like unconsciously, maybe you depend on someone else for support financially, like your mom or your dad. So then if you make more money, you might lose that support. So part of you not making more money, they say, is an unconscious reward. I don't really believe that. I just think like we're childhood programmed that way. The thermostat's set that way. Like, what if it's actually simpler? What if the thermostat is literally just set during your early years the way that your mind thinks you can handle money, and then that controls you forever, unless you're aware of it and then you can change it. Because up until the time we're about 7 years old, you're absorbing all these beliefs, all these things from your environment, your parents, how they talked about money. Maybe they said money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are selfish. And then your mind stores all those things. It becomes part of your core beliefs. And then by the time you're an adult, those beliefs automatically operate your life. So consciously you want more money, but the thermostat is still set the exact same way. And that brings us to number 3. The layers of conditioning, like the onion effect with a bunch of layers. So our mind really is like an onion, like with all these layers. So imagine you're just peeling an onion and you think you're done, and then there's another layer. And the more you peel it back, the more you find. And changing your financial thermostat's the same way. Like, you may even attend seminars, you watch motivational videos, you do personal development work, you got a business coach, but there's still deeper beliefs holding you back that you weren't aware of it. It's not that you're failing, there's just more layers to the onion. Or like another way to think about it is like this computer mouse, like right here in my hand. So just pretend you and we're sitting at your computer right now in your room, right? You wouldn't be surprised if I was moving the mouse to the right and then the cursor on the screen went to the right, right? It's just the way it's programmed. The operating system is set to respond in certain actions in predictable ways. So like, that's the reason that we feel so frustrated financially, because you work harder, you do all these things, but you still don't get ahead. And then you're like, why? Why isn't it working? Why isn't it happening? Why can't things be different? Why is this happening again? Why? But you wouldn't ask why the cursor keeps moving to the right every time I move the mouse to the right. Why? Because the operating system is set to respond in certain actions in predictable ways. Just like if your mind's programming is set to make $30,000 a year, or however much you make right now every month. When I used to do a bunch of one-on-one coaching, I kind of wanted to test this, and I thought it was so interesting. I'd always ask people on like the first call, I'd be like, how much money do you make? And like, I don't care how much they made. So somebody might say 20,000 a year. Somebody else might say 200,000. Well, the crazy thing is, if they're like generally an adult, 30 plus, the interesting next question is, how long have you been making that? And it's crazy when you have someone that's an adult. They pretty much make the same amount of money every single year. They get to whatever it is. You know, you may start making 20, then 30, and in a couple of years you get to 150, but then you stay there for 5 or 10 years because that's your financial thermostat. That's your set point. And again, that's why it's so important to reprogram the subconscious mind. So make sure you bookmark it. It's free to use. My free financial success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It'll start to reprogram those subconscious money beliefs so you can start to reset your financial thermostat. The link's in the description. It's pinned to the comments right there down below. You can click right there. If you're with me here still, this is where it starts to get really, really powerful, because I realized my financial thermostat was set for me barely to be able to pay for basic stuff. That's just where mine was set. And it wasn't until I did what we're about to talk about, that's when my income started to skyrocket. So if you're with me here still, you can hit the like button on this video if you're enjoying it so far, or let me know in the comments down below. I'm with you, Jake. I'm with you, Jake. Okay, so now that we know why is this happening to me, that brings us to number 4, which is really reprogramming the thermostat. So if you want to change your financial temperature or how much money that you make, the new financial normal, you have to do a new temperature set point on the thermostat. So let me just break this down with some step-by-step. So first, you want to figure out what temperature you're at and why, and you can just look to your results. Like for me, I learned about all this because I was broke, and I realized I believed money wasn't spiritual. I believed capitalism was evil. I believed you didn't need money. I believed that the world was corrupt and unfair, and you could choose to be happy or wealthy, but you couldn't be both. And that's why I didn't have any money, right? I was a 22-year-old college dropout. I was trying to become a published author, and I believed that, and that I was too young to get a major book publishing deal. And even if I did make a little bit of money, if I had any left, I would just blow it. I never had any money saved, right? And I would say things like, I'll save when I get more money. So I never had any savings, right? You see what I mean? You can see how these associations control your entire life. So what I invite you to do is just spend some quiet time and think about what beliefs or habits you have about money or things that you inherited. Like what comes to mind when you think about more money? If you think back to like your childhood, what are some of the behaviors that you witnessed from your parents? Like what did your parents or the adults around you say about money? How did they spend it? Did they fight about money? Did they have certain sayings about money and wealth? Did they stay in credit card debt your whole life? Did they believe that money was the root of all evil, right? And did you adopt these things? So you can write these down and then you can clearly see what they are. Next is challenging the stories in your head. So when you catch yourself thinking things like I'll never make more money, or I'm just not good with money, or me, I'm too young, or money's evil, or whatever, you just remind yourself it's your old programming. You tell yourself, that's the thermostat talking to me right now, right? And then you can start to challenge them, or just ask, like, is this true? Is it really true that money is evil? No. Why do I believe that? I don't know. Is it true that money isn't spiritual? Well, if I go help somebody who can't afford their car, or I buy presents for some families in my town that their parents didn't have money for the holidays to get their kids presents, that's very spiritual, right? So you challenge it. Next is visualizing a new normal. So I invite you to just basically spend time every day imagining your new financial level. Picture yourself feeling comfortable. You're capable of handling money, of saving money, of making more money. So like, what does it feel like? What does it look like to have that income? What are you doing differently? How do you feel? Do you walk differently? Right? This is visualizing or feeling a new normal, and it gradually starts to reset your thermostat. And then we go to small actions to break those barriers, because the thermostat or those beliefs are just, they're invisible barriers. So what I invite you to do is specifically challenge those barriers once you identified them, right? So like, again, if you believe money is evil or you believe it's not spiritual, challenge yourself. Maybe go buy food for a kid in an orphanage, or buy a backpack for someone in your town whose parents can't afford it. Like for holidays, you can literally do an adopt a family and help a family that can't buy presents for kids, right? And then you're going to see money isn't evil. It's like actually really spiritual, and it can be a really valuable tool to help people you love. Or maybe every time you do something toward improving your financial state, like whether it's putting a little more money in savings, setting a new goal, getting a raise, or setting a goal for a raise, what you want to do is tell your subconscious mind that you're ready for these things, right? That it's okay to let go of those barriers. And it's important to remind yourself, like, don't beat yourself up, because you might be going against a lifetime of conditioning. It may not change in 12 minutes or 12 hours or 24 hours, but it's not impossible. Once it clicks, it will happen fast. The only reason you haven't made the money is just like the computer mouse. It's just because it's programmed to move right every single time. And resetting your financial thermostat is really making a lifestyle decision to live what you want instead of the way that you're taught. So next time you feel like you're getting stuck, you're going backwards, don't get discouraged. It's just the thermostat, and it's like, it's trying to protect you. It's just trying to work the way that it was operating. You would never get mad at your thermostat if it was set for 70 and you walked inside and it was cold and you'd be like, this stupid thing's trying to freeze me to death. No, it's just you have to change the temperature. That's the only reason it's doing it. It's not good or bad. It's not even rational. It's just the way it was programmed. So what I invite you to do is listen to this video again. If you have the time right now, just let this video play again. If you don't have the time now, just listen to the audio while you're doing something else. And for the next 21 days, which is what neuroscientists say to change your neuroplasticity to build a new habit, try to listen to this every single day, watch it or listen to it for the next 21 days. Build your list of the ways that you were programmed. Once you identify those, you're free of them. That's why Sigmund Freud said that the whole goal of psychology is to make the unconscious conscious. Because once I became conscious of my unconscious that said, money is evil, you're not spiritual, you have it, you can only pick. You can be happy or you can be wealthy. And I saw like how silly these ideas were. And even if you don't think they're that silly, the next question is, am I going to get rich if I believe these things? No. Irrespective of whether you believe they're a good philosophy or not, you will not get rich with that type of belief that I had, right? So build that list, listen to it again, download my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's one of the easiest and fastest ways to start to break that barrier and reset the temperature. It's free. What I encourage you to do is go to Google Images. Think about what you want and then print out the images of what you want. It might be a house, it might be a car, it might be a certain job, it might be X amount of dollars in your bank account. Type exactly what you want on Google Images. You're gonna be able to find almost anything that you want exactly. Print those things out. Print them out and then put them on your wall or put them in a little binder that's like your subconscious reprogramming binder. What I invite you to do is practice looking at those things. Then for a couple minutes every day, close your eyes and practice seeing them while you listen to the success hypnosis. It works really well before bed because your conscious mind shuts off, your brainwave states slow down, and you get direct access to your subconscious mind. Now, the reason that this is so powerful is because if you take those images of what you want and you print them out, and just before you're going to bed, the same way when you read before bed, you fall asleep faster and your mind clears. You lie in bed just before you shut the lights off to go to sleep, and you look at the images. Look at you walking into your house. See yourself walking in. See the smile on your face. Maybe you're having a welcoming new house party. All your friends are there. See Billy specifically. See your mom. Hear the music. Jump right, like get detailed with it. Move through those images. And then close the binder, close your eyes, and then practice seeing each of them while my success hypnosis plays softly. You're going to get direct access to the subconscious mind, and you can speed up the process to reset your financial thermostat. Right now, it may be set at a level you don't want. It's okay. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean it's impossible. It's just the way it was programmed. But the same way you can do it with a computer and upload and install new software, you can delete viruses, you can drag old files that are bogging down the operating system, you can drag them into the trash. and you can hit empty trash. You do the same thing with the old unconscious beliefs that you've now made conscious, and you install a new financial normal, and that's when your financial income starts to change quickly. So if you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. If you're new here or you're a returner, make sure you hit the subscribe and bell notification to get notified for new videos. If you enjoy it, hit the like button on this video, send it out in the YouTube universe, check out my free success hypnosis, and let me know what you think in the comments right there down below. You can click here to watch another video.